Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sakina. Sakina is my Muslim name. My real name is Radha Reddy. I'm from Tavua, Fiji. My background is somewhat like this. I'm from a very religious Hindu family. They were very strict and very religious in our religion, Hinduism. I got two sisters, one brother. When I was living in Fiji, I went to school, primary school, high school, studied school, worked and all that. During my time when I was in Fiji, I was, following what my family were following, what my mum and dad were following, which was the religion of Hinduism. The funny thing about that was mum and dad used to do their prayers on a Sunday. I used to do my prayer on a Monday, and my sisters used to do their prayer on Friday. So it was like on a Monday, mum will cook vegetarian food for me. Then she'll cook something vegetarian on a Friday for my sisters, and then it was their Sunday vegetarian day. So I suppose pretty much from the beginning, I always thought, there was a thing behind my mind. What are we doing, or why are we doing this way? And every time I asked my dad or my mum or a pandit or someone, what's this? Why one person, can eat on a Monday, meat and another day they can't, sort of thing. And nobody really managed to give me a good answer or a solid answer to, so the confusion was always there. Anyway, because mum and dad was following the religion, I was following the religion, I was pretty much doing exactly what they were doing. And then I remember when I was in class 8 and I was a head girl at that time. We had few Muslim girls in our classes, and it was the time of Ramadan when they were fasting, and it was, as in Fiji, it can get up to 40 degrees or so. It was very hot, and the girls were sort of doing exactly what we were doing outside, exercising and cleaning, picking up the rubbish, things like that. And I thought, as a head girl, I think I should do a bit of research, why these girls are doing this, and find out how I can help them, how I can support them. So I went and talked to them, and they said, oh, this is our religion, this is what we're doing. And at that point, it sort of, clicked to me, oh, this is quite amazing, this is very interesting, It really amazed me that although it's so hot, how they're managing to do fasting from in the morning till the afternoon. So as a joke, I said to them, inshallah, one day I will be a Muslim as well. And they said, oh, yeah, if you need any assistance, any help, anything, you just feel free to come and talk to us. And then I thought, yeah, as if I will, In very few simple words, I will describe myself before I was a Muslim, very arrogant. I was very racist. I used to absolutely hate Islam. And I will use the word hate because that was the extent of my feeling towards Islam. And with Muslim people, I always used to sort of see them as terrorists, with a woman or a man, and always sort of try to keep myself away from Muslim people. The village I'm from, it's a very multicultural village. We had Punjabis, we had Muslims, we had Fijians, Hindus, South Indians, North, it was a bit of mixture. And I used to sort of mingle with everyone except for Muslim people. And then when I started going high school, sort of started hanging out with other colleagues, other schoolmates and all that, and we sort of started talking in groups like, we always had something bad to say about Islam or the people of Muslim. And then one day I found out that my very close cousin, he's become a Muslim. And I sort of thought like, oh, this is not good, I must talk to this, this cousin of mine and find out what's happening. These people have done sort of jadoo or something on him. And he tried to talk to me, and he knew that, oh, no point talking to Sakina because she's not going to listen. And then after a few weeks later, I found out that he changed his name. He's become a Muslim, and the main reason, I suppose, behind him becoming a Muslim was because he wanted to marry a Muslim girl, and before you can marry a Muslim girl, there was a thing that you have to become a Muslim. And then I said to my mum and dad, see, I told you, these Muslim people, they always want to convert people, they always want you to follow their religion, they can't marry you because you're not a Muslim, they always think we're not good enough for them. And it really, really annoyed me and made me very angry, So I completely stopped talking to my cousin. I said, okay, well, if you want to be a Muslim, you be a Muslim, you're not my cousin anymore. So my hatred towards Islam and Muslim people sort of grew from there. There were a lot of things in Hinduism which wasn't making sense to me. First of all, of course, you can only eat vegetarian on certain days. One person can eat on a Monday, one day, people were saying we're not allowed to eat beef or cow meat. However, I was finding few Hindus eating beef. And I thought, are we allowed to? Are we not allowed to? So I went to a pujari and I asked him, tell me where exactly in our books it says we can't. So he sort of gave me, some reasons, and there were like too many reasons. And I thought, no, this can't be true. So I tried to read the books. However, I was told that no, you can't touch the Ramayana, you can't touch the Gita. And I thought, okay, all right, I have to respect that. If they think that, maybe women not allowed to touch the book, or we're not good enough to read one of these books. So I kind of left it there, but always behind the back of my mind, I always was unsure about the religion, but I was too scared to really go and question anyone. I tried with my dad a few times, and my dad said, our forefathers followed it, we just follow it, you just do what I'm doing it, and then when you get married, you just follow your husband. And I thought, okay, Dad, no problem. Then I met a few of my Fijian friends who were Christians. And really, I really started getting towards Christian, something about Christianity. I think it was Jesus, the stories about Jesus, how amazing he was, all the miracles he did and all that. And I thought, there's something about this religion here. So I kind of moved towards Christianity, and I started reading books. I started inviting Christian people. I sort of started going out with them and started learning a lot about Christianity. And for a while, I was very happy with Christianity. I thought, I think the amazing story about Christianity was how they kept saying, Jesus will come back, Jesus will come back, one day Jesus will come back. I'm sort of a person, I always like to debate. I always like to ask a lot of questions. I always want to know why. So the same problem started with Christianity as well. They will give me an answer, but only to a certain extent, so they will never be able to give me full answer. So here I was a Hindu asking questions on Hinduism, couldn't get any further. Then I started on Christianity. I sort of got my answers, but the answers weren't good enough. So I moved to New Zealand and I started working on all that, started making new friends. There were friends from, all over the country. And then I started doing full-time job at Work and Income. And the very amazing, one of the very amazing Muslim converts I met, I will mention his name, Shane Hopkins. People know him by the name of Yusuf. He was a convert and he was following the religion. I think it was good 7, 8, 10 years, and he used to talk to me a lot about religion in whole, because at the time I didn't know he was a Muslim. I thought, well, he's a Kiwi, he's a European, so obviously he's a Christian. So he used to ask me a lot of questions about my Hinduism, and although I didn't know much, I always pretended I knew everything. So we used to end up arguing all the time over the religion. And then he started giving me people's email addresses, contact numbers, and he started telling me to visit these websites, if you want to know more about the religion of Islam, you start doing your own research, don't listen to other people. Because I always had my own opinion about the religion, sort of like every religion, I always had my own opinion, especially on Islam. I always thought it's one religion I will never follow. It's not a good religion. It's a really bad religion. They love killing people, and so pretty much everything about Islam I didn't like. And then I joined a couple groups from all over the country and started asking questions online. So there was sort of like a debate session we were having online. I used to put a question out there to brothers and sisters of Islam, and they used to always come back to me with an answer. And it wasn't just, one word answer, one sentence answer. It was always, in full. So at that point I was studying religion. I wanted to know pretty much everything about all the religion. The other religion which really struck me was the religion of Jewish people. Because I read a lot of stories about Prophet Moses, peace be upon him. And yeah, so I started studying religion. Unlike maybe a lot of other converts, it took me nearly good 4 or 5 years to finally accept the religion of Islam. I studied religion for good 4 or 5 years. At certain point I thought, yes, I'm ready to accept Islam, but then there was always that uncertainty, I wasn't sure. And then there was another thing, that what if I'm not going to be a good Muslim? What if, if I accept Islam, but yet I won't be able to follow Islam? So there were a lot of questions coming to me. And then I thought, well, I like the religion of Islam, but I don't like Muslim people. So how what will happen? I don't want to be called Muslims. I'm a Muslim because I don't like Muslim people. So there was another brother, Brother James Butler, known as Salim. He's another Kiwi convert. I was introduced to him, and he assisted me a lot with a lot of questions, a lot of research. He gave me a lot of books. He gave me Quran to read. He was very, very wonderful, alhamdulillah. Then I met a few other sisters from Malaysia, Sister Kazi, Sister Yati. So there were a group of people who were very, very much helping me in sort of trying to answer every question I had. They were very patient with me. I'm very sure at one point they must have given up on me and thought, nah, we're wasting our time. She will never become Muslim. One of the brothers always used to say to me, Sakina, look, if Allah wants you to become a Muslim, you will become a Muslim. If Allah is not going to choose you as one of us, you will never become Muslim. And I said, so it went on and on for a good 4 or 5 years. I think what really assured me that no, this is the religion is when I started watching a lot of DVDs. I was watching Brother Yusuf Estates from America, I think he is. There was another brother, he's from England somewhere, I can't quite remember his name. But the one person who absolutely amazed me and inspired me is Dr. Zakir Naik. I think he's from India. I used to watch his DVDs a lot, almost like 3-4 times a day. And just the way he used to talk, give speech, the way he used to debate with people, it was just so wonderful, and he was so nice, and the way just his mannerism was just so amazing. And I thought, and it really used to excite me when he used to debate with like Hindu pundits, Christians, Jewish people, especially every time I used to watch the debate, Hinduism versus Islam debate, and I thought, yes, here this is a man who got every answer. There was for any question he always had an answer, and it wasn't just an answer, just like we follow Islam because of there was always a depth of reasoning why we're doing this, why we're not doing this, why this is halal, why this is haram, things like that. So Dr. Zakir Naik, he really inspired me, and then I started talking to my family, and my family thought, where is she getting all this information from? Maybe she's with the wrong group of friends. The reputation she's getting from the friends, it's not good. We must sort of take her back. So, but then they thought, well, she's very strong, and she got her, she criticizes all the time. She got her own mind. So now she will never become Muslim because she hates Islam so much. So they always knew she won't do it. She's going through that period where she's changing and all that. One day I said to my mum, I think I'm ready. I'm ready to accept this religion. And my mum said, are you absolutely sure? I said, yes, I'm absolutely sure. Mum said, why you want to become a Muslim? Is there a boy? Is there a Muslim boy in the story somewhere? What's the story? Are you wanting to marry a Muslim man? I said, no, Mum, it's not that. It's totally, it got nothing to do with my work or a guy or nothing like that. It's just what I studied, what I found out. I feel that Islam is the true religion. Islam has answered every question I had. I mean, in those debates, every time I used to send a question to them, and I used to make it very, very difficult. I used to say, make up stories, make up things, that they won't be able to answer it. Yet they always came back and they answered me. So I think finally they So all my Muslim friends and the debate sessions I was having with all these people from all over the world, they sort of answered all the questions I had. And I just had no other question to ask them. So in a way I was like totally lost. And I thought, no, there is something about this religion. I'm very educated, I got a good family, I got a good job, I got everything, yet there's something missing. There was always something missing, even when I used to go to temple, do my puja and all that, I always thought, well, this is just for a show to show people that, I'm thinking of God and all that. And there was always something missing in life, always something missing, always, I thought, I got everything. Why do I feel like I'm incomplete? Why do I feel like incomplete? So from the age of 20 until 25, the 5 years in between, there was something I felt, there was missing in my life. And I was doing a lot of traveling, I was meeting a lot of people, and everything was like going for me, yet I knew there was something incomplete in life. And at that point, I thought, no. If I know Islam is so good, Islam is the religion, why am I still not, why can't I do it? So one day I sat with a Muslim sister and I said to my sister, look, the real reason now is, what I'm thinking is, if I do become a Muslim, what if I can't do the prayer in Arabic, because I knew the importance of Salat by that point. And I said, what if I can't do 5 times prayer, because it all seemed like it's just too difficult, doing prayers 5 times a day, eating halal food, Ramadan, all those sort of things sort of like scare me. It really scared me, And then she said, Sakina, but there are so many people out there, they're doing it, and you don't have to straight away do it, you take your time. We're not expecting you to learn everything all at once. And I said, no, but still, I don't feel like I will be a good Muslim, what if I do this, what if I do that? I like going out, I like my KFC, things like that I used to say to her. She said, things will come all right, you take your time, just you do when you're ready. The other good thing I will tell you about the Muslim friends I had was they never forced me. It took me 5 years, yet they were there, the sabr was always, there. And I mean, if it was me, I would have said, okay, if you want to become a Muslim, otherwise go, just don't waste my time. Sort of, that's sort of a person I am. Yet they were always there, and I thought, nah, I have to do this. So that I converted here at Wellington Masjid. The day I came, my mother came with me, my sister came with me, and my niece came with me. I think they came to support me, but at the same time they really wanted to see if Radha will be able to do this. She might change her mind. From Lower Hutt coming to Wellington, they kept asking me over and over, are you sure, are you sure? And my dad was teasing me. My dad said, you won't be able to come and eat at our place, we'll be cooking nice food and all that. I think my mother was very concerned, because she thought, oh, my Betty won't be able to come and eat at our place, I mean, she's already so skinny, what will happen? And then she said, you'll have to eat beef and all that. I said, Mom, no, I don't have to, but if I want to, I will eat beef, It's not like you have to, just because you're a Muslim, you don't have to eat beef. The great thing about my family was, especially my mum and dad, my sisters and my brother, they were very supportive, they were very understanding. Although they didn't believe that I will be able to cope with the new religion, I will be able to cope with Islam, but they were with me all the time, and they supported me absolutely 110%. So the support from my immediate family was absolutely amazing and was very good, alhamdulillah. But the support from my other families wasn't so good. They still, I mean, it's been nearly 2.5 years now. This year will be my 3rd Ramadan. They still not very happy with me. They still feel very uncomfortable with me. My daddy, she's always asking, what is this religion? What is this religion doing to you? Why are you this? Why are you doing this? Every time they see me going and doing my prayers on time, things like that. I mean, they're happy, they're very proud that she's changed, she's changed so much. Actually, she's much calmer, she's not fighting with everyone. She forgets and forgives people, she's helping always, So, yeah, so the changes they see in me, it's great. Like, they're really very happy and proud of me. But at the same time, there are certain families who are still not happy. They're still thinking, oh, it's been 2 years, she will come back to us, she will, to them, I'm not one of them anymore. I'm not a true Indian. I'm not a true South Indian to them. There were a lot of friends who were supporting me, but it was just for a show. I lost a lot of friends when I became Muslim, but then there were a lot of friends who were still there, and they, I kept saying to them, you tell me, just because I'm a Muslim, how have I changed? And then they'll say, oh, you don't talk much, you don't go out with us, you don't drink anymore, you don't party anymore. And I said, but that's something I wanted to change in a very long time. It's not just because I become a Muslim, because before I became a Muslim, I started changing my lifestyle anyway. I started only hanging out with good friends, I stopped going out, and I just didn't like the party environment where people were drinking alcohol, smoking, it's sort of like really, I wasn't very interested. And then when I did become Muslim, it really helped me because not much changed by then. So I said to my friends, well, and whenever you guys invited me for a drink, I always said no before I became Muslim. So now I am a Muslim, so I'm saying the same thing. So I haven't changed much. So they tested me for a very long time. And same thing, my family tested me for a very long time. It's a big thing when Diwali comes, the puja and all that they usually have, the weddings and all that. So they will invite me, so I will go there as a respect, I want to be with my family. So I'll go there, yet I'll make sure I don't touch, the food which I'm not supposed to be eating. I will, keep myself away from doing their prayer and participating in their, So they were watching me very closely, and they were really watching me to sort of pick up on things and then sort of throw it back at me. So I was being very careful. At the same time, I have to remind myself, well, this is my family, I don't want to lose them, so I have to keep them happy. But at the same time, I want them to understand why I am what I am today. And one of the main reasons, I wanted them to sort of come near Islam as well. So finally, my mum and dad, they know Islam is a true religion. They know in their heart that this is a very good religion, yet they can't really accept Islam because they're thinking what the community will say, what other families will say, This is what we've been following for years and years, we must follow this. But I know in my heart they're really proud of me. They really want to, especially my mother, she always says, oh, your Islam is so good, You people, if you say you don't want to eat haram food, you don't eat haram food. Because I have been with my family where, it's like all haram food, the food is not halal. And I'm sitting there, they're all eating, they're having a big feast, yet I'm sitting there like not bothered at all. And they'll watch me, and they keep saying, oh, who cares, come and eat, I said, yeah, no one's watching, but Allah's watching, I'm not doing this to make you happy or to make my Muslim friends happy, I'm doing this for Allah. So, yeah, they tested me for a very long time, they're still testing me, but they're very supportive, they're very, very supportive. I absolutely love doing my prayers, 5 times prayers. If I miss a prayer or if I don't do my prayer in time, I always know, I always feel like something's missing. I sort of feel very scared. My colleagues at work, they always teasing me about wearing hijab, Oh, why do you want to wear hijab? Why do you want to cover your body, God made you to sort of show yourself, you need to be attracted and all those sort of things, And before I became Muslim, I used to think like that as well. But now that I'm a Muslim, just dressing up like a Muslim woman, it just gives me that protection, that, it's like a respect thing, really. What the respect I was getting from people before I was a Muslim and the respect I'm getting from people now becoming a Muslim, there's a vast difference. Absolutely. I cannot describe in words the respect I'm getting now. And I'll give you an example. I was traveling in train one day and I was wearing my hijab, and the train was packed, and the people sort of looked at me, and I thought, oh my God, they must be thinking, who's this woman, here comes a Muslim woman. And it was in New Zealand. But one of the men, he stood up and gave me a seat to sit down. Now, after a few days, I tried without wearing hijab. I tried the same thing. The train was packed and no one bothered to look at me, you know. So yeah, that was a really good thing. And then sort of like I went out and I said to my friends, oh wow, you know, wearing hijab, you know, the sort of response you get from people, it's not always bad. What I want to really say, just myself, from a person who used to hate Islam, I will once again say the word hate, and look at me today, you know, what I am today. My friends are just they were so shocked that the one person they thought who will never accept Islam or go anywhere near Islam, if she can do it, then I'm sure, you know, my non-Muslim friends out there, you can do it as well. The main thing is education. You must educate yourself. You must learn about why people are committing suicide. I mean, I still question myself, you know, why we have all these suicidal bombings. But if you actually, you know, really find out why they're doing it and stop listening to the media, stop watching what is shown on the TV, because that's the biggest problem. And I think that's where I went wrong as well, because I started watching TV too much. I started listening to Americans, you know, these Christian people. Because I feel it's really nothing to do with the religion. It's very political, you know, so they sort of using the religion to have this war between the Muslim people and non-Muslims. So to my brothers and sisters out there in Fiji, in New Zealand, and all over the country really, non-Muslims, my advice to you is, if you don't know something, you know, go out and ask people, ask a Muslim person, and just not one Muslim person, because I found a lot of time one Muslim person may say something and then you go and ask another Muslim person, they might say something else. So you must talk to the right person, you know, a person who knows about Islam, good scholars. Internet is a good place if you want to know. If you want to know things like why this, why that, what is Islam all about, internet is another good place to learn a lot about Islam. In reading books, really, I mean, the best thing I think is reading Quran. Reading Quran helped me more than reading anything or listening to anyone, you know. If I was unsure about something, I always read Quran. And of course, understanding Quran is very difficult, because to me it's like in a totally different language. But then again, if you break it down and you get it translated in your language or in a proper English, then there's, you know, it's a very good, yeah. So really, I would advise people to read Quran first of all before taking the religion of Islam, before taking Muslim people. I mean, really, I want to say, if I can do it, and a lot of my friends out there, especially in Fiji, I mean, you know me, what sort of a person I was, you know. I never liked changing. I didn't like changes in life. I was a very strong following Hindu girl, you know. And if I can do it, I'm sure with the right knowledge, you know, you will come to the path of Islam.